My girlfriend said, I'm moving my ex into the guest room. He's homeless, and I can't just abandon him. I replied, you're a good person. Then I moved MY stuff out of the master bedroom into a hotel and stopped paying my half of the rent. When the eviction notice arrived 60 days later. Original post. I, 29 male, checked into a hotel 8 weeks ago and haven't looked back. Yesterday, my ex-girlfriend received an eviction notice. The irony is not lost on me that she's about to be homeless right alongside the ex-boyfriend she moved in to save from homelessness. Let me explain how we got here. Background. I've been with my girlfriend for 2.5 years. We moved in together 18 months ago into her 2-bedroom apartment. The lease is in her name only. She'd been living there before we met, and we never got around to adding me officially. I just paid half the rent, $1,150 of the $2,300 total, via Venmo every month, plus half the utilities. No formal agreement, just verbal. Her ex-boyfriend is someone she dated for about a year before me. They broke up because he was, in her words, not ready to be serious. He's always hovered around the edges of our relationship, liking her posts, texting occasionally, showing up at the same parties. She always said they were just friends, and I was being insecure when I expressed discomfort. 2 months ago, she came home from drinks with her friends looking weird. Nervous. The kind of look that means bad news is coming. So I need to tell you something, and I need you to hear me out before you react. Me? Okay. You know how my ex has been going through a rough time? Lost his job, his roommates kicked him out. Me? You mentioned something about it, yeah. Well, he's basically homeless now. Couch surfing. It's really bad. And I've been thinking, we have that guest room that we barely use. I want to let him stay here until he gets back on his feet. I stared at her. Me? You want to move your ex-boyfriend into our apartment? Into the guest room. It's not like he'd be sleeping in our bed. I just can't abandon someone I care about when they're struggling. Me? Someone you care about? You've dated him. We're friends now. That's allowed. I'm not going to let him be homeless just because you're jealous. Me? I'm not jealous. I'm wondering why your ex's housing situation is suddenly our problem. Because I'm a good person, and good people help others. He has nowhere else to go. She kept going. He'd only be there a few weeks, maybe a month. He'd contribute what he could. He'd stay out of our way. I was being controlling by having concerns. She'd already told him it was probably fine, so backing out now would be cruel. That last part is what got me. She'd already told him, before asking me. The conversation wasn't a discussion. It was an announcement. I sat there processing while she watched me with this expectant look, like she was waiting for me to agree so she could feel good about being such a generous person. Me? You're a good person. Thank you. So you're okay with me? I didn't say that. I said you're a good person. I'm going to go pack some things. What? Pack? Where are you going? Me? Hotel. I need some space to think. You're being dramatic. It's just helping a friend. Me? And you're just making decisions about our living situation without consulting me. I need to think about what that means. I packed a bag that night. She kept following me around the apartment, saying I was overreacting and making this into something it's not. I didn't argue, just packed and left. That was day 1. I checked into an extended stay hotel about 15 minutes away. Not fancy, but clean and quiet. $89 a night, which adds up, but I had savings, and frankly, I'd rather pay for peace than pay for a front row seat to my girlfriend playing house with her ex. The first week, she texted constantly, ranging from apologetic, I'm sorry I didn't ask first, can we talk? To defensive, you're punishing me for being compassionate. To accusatory, everyone says you're being controlling and possessive. I responded to a few at first, keeping it simple. I need space. We can talk when I'm ready. Then her ex moved in. I know this because she posted about it on Instagram. A story with the two of them making dinner together in what was, until recently, our kitchen. Caption: grateful for good friends who open their homes. House red heart. That's when I made my decision. I stopped paying rent. Not dramatically. I just didn't Venmo her the $1,150 on the first of the month like I usually did. Didn't announce it. Didn't explain it. Just didn't do it. She noticed on the 3rd. Her, hey, I didn't see the rent payment come through. Did you forget? Me, I didn't forget. Her, so when are you sending it? Me, I'm not. Her, what? Me, I don't live there anymore. Why would I pay rent on an apartment I don't live in? Her, we're still together. This is still your home. Me, is it? Because it seems like you've replaced me with your ex pretty quickly. I'm just making it official. Her, you can't just stop paying. I can't afford this place alone. Me, that sounds like something you should have considered before moving in a house guest without my consent. Her, you're being vindictive. Me, I'm being practical. I'm paying $89 a night to stay somewhere I actually feel welcome. I'm not also paying $1,150 a month for somewhere I don't. She called me 12 times that night. I didn't answer. Eventually she texted, "Fine, but don't come crawling back when you realize what you've thrown away." I didn't respond. That was 7 weeks ago. Yesterday, she posted a story. Screenshot of a notice taped to a door. Caption, "When landlords have no heart. 60 days to find a new place. Life is so unfair. The eviction process has begun. I'm not proud of how satisfied that made me feel, but I'm also not sorry. She made a choice. She chose her ex over me, then expected me to fund that choice. I chose to opt out. I'll update when I know more about what happens next." Update 1, 5 days later. The situation has escalated in ways I genuinely didn't anticipate, and I want to document everything because this is getting messy. First, some context based on questions from my original post. Yes, I'm certain I have no legal obligation to pay rent. The lease is entirely in her name. I was never added. My Venmo payments were technically gifts or informal contributions. There's no contract binding me to continue. I checked with a lawyer friend just to be sure. Second, yes, my credit is unaffected. The eviction is on her record, not mine. The lease was always hers. Now for what's happened since. After the eviction notice went up, my ex-girlfriend, I think we can call her that now, went into full crisis mode. She called me 6 times in one day. When I finally answered, the conversation was something else. Her, you have to help me. Please. I know things got bad between us, but I'm about to be homeless. Me? Ironic, isn't it? Her, this isn't funny. I have 60 days to come up with $4,600 in back rent or find new place. I don't have that kind of money. Me? What happened to your ex contributing? He was supposed to help out, right? Silence. Me? He's not paying anything, is he? Her? He's trying to find work. It's hard out there. Me? So you moved in a jobless ex-boyfriend, lost your actual paying partner, and now you can't afford rent. AM, I understanding the situation correctly. Her, you left. You chose to leave. Me, you chose to move him in without asking me. We both made choices. Yours are just catching up to you faster. She started crying. So I was being cruel. Said she never thought I could be this cold. Said her parents always warned her about men like me. Me? Men like me? Men who pay half the rent for 18 months and then stop when they're replaced? Those men. Her. You know that's not what happened. Me, do I? Because from where I'm sitting, that's exactly what happened. You wanted to save your ex. You sacrificed our relationship to do it. Now you're both going to be homeless together. Seems like you got what you wanted. You saved him from being alone in his homelessness. Now you could be homeless together. She hung up on me. I felt bad for about 30 seconds. Then I remembered the Instagram story of them cooking together in our kitchen 2 days after I left. The next few days brought more revelations. Her mom called me. This was unexpected. We'd always gotten along fine, but she'd never called me directly before. Her mom, I understand you and my daughter are having problems. Me, that's one way to put it. Her mom, she told me you abandoned her. Left her with bills she can't pay. That's not the man I thought you were. Me, did she tell you why I left? Pause. Her mom, she said you had a fight about her helping a friend. Me, a friend. That's what she called him. Her mom, what would you call him? Me, her ex-boyfriend. The one she moved into our guest room without asking me. The one she's been living with for 2 months while I've been in a hotel. Long silence. Her mom, she didn't mention that part. Me, I'm not surprised. Ma'am, I loved your daughter. I wanted to build a life with her. But she chose to move her ex-boyfriend into our home without even having a conversation with me about it. And when I said I needed space to process that, she moved him in anyway and expected me to keep paying half the rent while they played house. That's not abandonment. That's self-respect. Her mom, I need to call you back. She didn't call back, but apparently she called her daughter because my ex sent me a furious text that night. You turned my own mother against me? She just lectured me for an hour about boundaries and respect. This is so typical of you, manipulating everyone to be on your side. I didn't respond. 2 days later, I heard from her best friend. Someone I'd met many times, thought we were cool. Her best friend, hey, I know you're not talking to her, but I wanted to reach out. She's in a really bad place. Me, I'm sorry to hear that. Her best friend, her ex isn't helping with anything. He's barely looking for work. He just plays video games all day and eats her food. She's stressed and broke, and the eviction is moving forward. I'm worried about her. Me, that sounds rough. What does this have to do with me? Her best friend, I guess I'm asking, is there any chance you'd help? Even a little? She's really struggling. Me, let me make sure I understand. She moved her ex-boyfriend into our apartment without my consent. I left because of that. She's been living with him for 2 months. Now she wants me to pay to keep a roof over their heads. Her best friend, when you put it like that, me, there's no other way to put it. That's what's happening. And no, I'm not going to fund their living situation. She made her choice. She can live with it. Literally. Her best friend didn't push after that. Said she understood and hoped things would work out somehow. The eviction timeline is ticking. 45 days left now. My ex has apparently been looking for new apartments, but 2 months of missed rent payments aren't doing her application prospects any favors. More updates coming. Update 2, 18 days later. We're now about 3 weeks from the final eviction date, and this situation has gone completely sideways. I need to tell you what happened because it's almost unbelievable. Last week, I got an unexpected visitor at my hotel. I was coming back from grabbing dinner when I saw someone sitting in the lobby. It was her ex, the one who started this whole mess. I almost walked past him, but he stood up. Her ex, hey, can we talk? Me, I genuinely can't think of a single thing we have to talk about. Her ex, please, 5 minutes. I think you should hear this. Against my better judgment, I sat down. He looked rough, unshaven, tired, wearing clothes that needed washing. Her ex, I need to tell you something, and I know you have no reason to believe me, but I swear it's true. Me, go ahead. Her ex, she told me you were already broken up. When she offered me the guest room, she said you two had ended things a week earlier, that you'd moved out, that she was lonely and could use the company. I stared at him. Me, she told you we were broken up. Her ex, yeah, I wouldn't have agreed otherwise, man. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but I'm not that guy. When I saw your stuff still in the apartment, she said you just hadn't picked it up yet. I believed her because, I don't know, I wanted to, I guess. Me, so when did you figure out the truth? Her ex, when she started freaking out about rent. She kept saying he was supposed to pay, and this is his fault. I was like, whose fault? Your ex who moved out a week before I got there? That didn't make sense. I pushed her on it, and eventually she admitted you'd been living together the whole time. That you only left because of me. I sat back, processing. Her ex, I'm telling you this because I want you to know I didn't do this on purpose. I'm not trying to steal anyone's girl. I was just broke and desperate, and she offered me a way out. But the whole thing was built on her lying to both of us. Me, what are you going to do? Her ex, I'm leaving. Already found a buddy who'll let me crash for a few weeks. I can't stay there anymore. The whole situation is toxic, and she's been getting more and more unstable, blaming me for everything when she's the one who set this whole thing up. Me, does she know you're telling me this? Her ex, no, and I'd appreciate if you didn't tell her it came from me. She's not handling things well. I don't want to make it worse. He left after that. I sat in the lobby for another 20 minutes, just thinking. She'd lied to him too. Told him we were already broken up, so he'd feel okay about moving in. Manipulated both of us. Made me look like the bad guy, leaving, and made him look like the innocent friend helping out a newly single woman. The next few days confirmed what he'd told me. I heard through mutual friends that her ex had moved out suddenly, that she had a meltdown about being abandoned again, that she was telling everyone both of us had betrayed her, me by refusing to pay rent, him by leaving her when things got hard. The victim narrative was strong. According to her, she was a good person who tried to help a friend and got punished by two ungrateful men. No mention of the lies. No acknowledgement that she'd created this situation. Her mom called me again. Her mom. I talked to her ex. He told me what happened. That she told him you were already broken up. Me, yeah. I heard. Her mom. I'm so sorry. I raised her better than this. I don't know where this deception came from. This isn't the daughter I thought I knew. Me. I appreciate you saying that. Her mom. For what it's worth, I've told her she needs to take responsibility. Find a solution herself. I'm not bailing her out of this. Your father and I are not going to reward this kind of behavior. Me. That's between you and her. I'm just trying to move on. Her mom. I understand. I just wanted you to know that not everyone blames you. What you did, leaving when she disrespected you, that was the right call. That conversation meant more than I expected. Having her own mother validate my decision helped. The eviction date is now 18 days away. My ex has apparently been desperately trying to find a subletter or a new apartment, but her rental history is trashed and she doesn't have first/last/ deposit saved. Her parents have declined to help financially. Her friends can only do so much. One more update coming when this all concludes. Update 3. Final. 16 days later. It's over. The eviction happened 2 days ago. I'm writing this final update to close the chapter. Here's how the last 2 weeks went. My ex made several more attempts to get money from me, each one more desperate than the last. First, she tried guilt. I know you're angry, but please. I have nowhere to go. Just help me cover 1 month so I can get an extension. I'll pay you back. Me. You had 2 months to figure this out. You spent that time blaming everyone else instead of solving the problem. I'm not your backup plan. Then she tried bargaining. What if I sign something saying I'll pay you back with interest? Like a real loan? Please. I'm begging you. Me. You can't afford rent. How would you afford to pay me back, plus interest? She didn't have an answer for that. Then she tried threats. If I end up on the street, everyone will know it's because of you. I'll make sure of it. Me. Everyone who matters already knows the truth. Your ex told me everything. Your mom told me she knows what you did. You can tell whatever story you want to whoever's left. I'm done caring. That was our last conversation. The eviction date arrived. I know what happened because her sister, who I'd always gotten along with, reached out to give me a heads up. Her sister, she moved out yesterday, packed everything in her car and a small storage unit. She's staying on a friend's couch for now. Me, I'm sorry it came to this. Her sister, me too. But honestly, she brought on herself. I love her, but she's been making terrible choices for years, and this is the first time there were real consequences. Maybe it'll be a wake-up call. Me, maybe. Her sister, for what it's worth, I never thought you were the bad guy here. She told me from the start that moving her ex in was going to cause problems, and I told her not to do it. She said you'd get over it. I guess she was wrong. Me? I guess she was. That conversation gave me some closure. Her own sister acknowledged that she'd been warned and ignored it. A few things that happened in the aftermath. 1. Her ex reached out one more time. He'd found a temporary job and was doing okay. Apologized again for being part of the mess. I told him no hard feelings. He was lied to just like I was. We're not friends, but we're not enemies either. 2. Her mom sent me a brief message. I'm sorry for how my daughter treated you. You deserve better. Wishing you well. Short but meaningful. 3. Mutual friends have mostly stayed out of it. A few clearly sided with her. They unfollowed me on social media and stopped responding to texts. A few others reached out to say they were sorry about what happened. Most just went quiet. That's probably fine. The friend group was more hers than mine anyway. For my ex herself has gone mostly silent. From what I hear through the grapevine, she's couch surfing between friends and looking for a room to rent. Her credit is wrecked from the eviction, which is going to make finding a place harder. That's not my problem anymore, but I'll admit I feel a small twinge of sympathy. Small. Some final thoughts. 1. This isn't a discussion is always a red flag. She didn't ask me if her ex could move in. She announced it. She'd already told him yes before talking to me. That told me everything I needed to know about how she valued my input. 2. Leaving was the right choice. Staying would have meant watching my girlfriend live with her ex while I paid half the rent for the privilege. That's not self-respect. That's subsidized humiliation. 3. The lie to her ex makes it worse. She didn't just disrespect me. She manipulated both of us. Told her we were already broken up, so he'd feel okay moving in. Used his desperation and my stability to build her little arrangement. That level of deception doesn't come from nowhere. It tells you who someone really is. 4. Financial consequences are real. She lost her apartment, trashed her credit, and ended up couch surfing, all because she couldn't afford $2,300 a month on her own and never planned for the possibility that I might not stick around to subsidize her choices. Always have a backup plan that doesn't depend on someone else's willingness to be disrespected. 5. Walking away is sometimes the strongest thing you can do. I didn't yell, didn't threaten, didn't try to win the argument. I just said, "You're a good person," packed my bag, and left. Then I stopped funding a situation I didn't consent to. The consequences that followed weren't revenge. They were just reality, minus my financial support. I'm still at the extended stay hotel. Been here almost 3 months now. It's not glamorous, but it's mine. No one else has keys. No one else makes decisions about who lives here. The peace is worth the $89 a night. I'm going to start apartment hunting soon. Looking for a 1-bedroom, maybe a studio. Something that's entirely in my name, entirely my space. No more informal arrangements. No more trusting that verbal agreements will be honored. The ring I'd been secretly saving for is still in my dresser drawer. I was going to propose next month. Had a whole plan, her favorite restaurant, a walk in the park afterward, the question. All of that is just gone now. I'll probably return the ring for store credit eventually. Not ready to deal with it yet. Some nights, I still think about what could have been. If she just talked to me. If she'd asked instead of announced. If she'd chosen our relationship over her savior complex. Maybe we could have figured something out. Found a compromise. Helped her ex without blowing up our life. But she didn't. She chose the way she chose. And now we're both living with the consequences. Hers are just more visible. Thanks for following this whole mess. Writing out helped. Sometimes you need strangers on the internet to confirm that walking away from someone who replaces you isn't cold. It's clarity. Go to order room service and watch something mindless. Peace.